How many questions should we ask? And is it okay to ask questions? Welcome back, everyone. This is video 9. In this video, I want to explore the idea of asking questions, especially for those of us who are freelance writers and we are a little bit more on the timid side or just a little bit more sensitive to engaging with others because we are a bit more hyper vigilant, a bit more hyper aware, and communication affects us. So, something I've learned as a freelance writer and just maybe as a human being in general is to not be afraid to ask questions. We are allowed to ask questions. Questions help you clarify things, they help you avoid making mistakes in the future. They help you understand better. Sometimes we might be afraid to ask questions because we don't want to annoy the other person, we don't want to sound dumb, or we don't want to be judged, or we don't want to sound like we don't know what we're talking about. We don't want to seem like we are not knowledgeable. Whatever it may be, questions are necessary. What I'm still learning is I think it's important rather to over communicate, to ask questions, even if they seem really unnecessary. Because if you don't understand something and you go ahead anyway, it leads to more potential to make mistakes or to miscommunicate. So even if the question sounds a bit dumb, even if it sounds unnecessary, even if it is, even if it's the same question, I think it should be okay to ask. And I know sometimes there's a fear that the other person might reply and impatiently with you because you're asking it, or they might reply back in a snarky tone, or there might be fears around what the other person's response would be. But I think in the end, maybe that's more of a reflection on them. It's important to just ask the question, regardless of the type of response you'll get, because then you know that you are covering your bases and you're gathering information, you're gathering understanding. And with that understanding, you'll be able to do better work, you'll be able to apply yourself better, you'll be able to know what's going on. I've explored this idea in previous videos of being more timid as a freelance writer, or being more of a sensitive person in this space. And if you are someone like that, where you tend to keep more quiet because you don't want to rock the boat, or you're afraid of what reaction you'll get, maybe you've had experiences in the past where you've asked questions and you received negative feedback, or someone snapped at you. So maybe it's you've kept quiet. This is for those people as well. Even if we are asking a question and we might get a response that is a bit snappy or sarcastic or snarky, it's okay, because asking questions clarifies things. It helps us understand something better so that we can work better, so that we can offer a better service, so that we can write better because we'll have more information. I think it takes work to also build up a level of grit for us to just ask questions regardless of the response we're going to get, because that's a necessary part of the process. Also, it's important for us to reach a level within ourselves where we feel safe enough in our nervous system that we feel we are allowed to ask questions. And it's okay, regardless of the reaction or response we'll get. In my own work, what I'm still learning, but from a lesson that I have learned before, is I didn't ask enough questions in the beginning. And I should have asked questions, because I should have gathered more information, because when it came to the end result, there was a bit of a mismatch. And I know if I just asked more questions, it would have changed the outcome. But that's okay. It's okay to make these mistakes, and we need to make these mistakes so that we can move on and create better work so that we can create better relationships and better standards for ourselves, as long as we learn from those mistakes and apply the lessons next time. I think also what's important to note is how we ask the questions. Because if we come from more of a snappy place, obviously we might get a snappy response or a withdrawn response. So we also need to take accountability for how we ask. If we ask respectfully and with a genuine curiosity, that's the best we can do to know our intention behind the question. So this is a short video. It's just exploring this idea of about asking questions and just exploring the line between when when is a question unnecessary to ask, or when is it necessary to ask, and that it's okay to ask a question. And just practicing awareness of that. Even maybe writing out the questions and seeing, okay, which ones are important to ask and which ones can I sort out myself and do my own research on. Let me know what you think. Is this something that you've encountered as a freelance writer as well? Or maybe just generally as a human being in your life? Do you shy away from asking questions because you're too scared of the reaction you might get? Or do you always ask questions? You don't, there's no shame there. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.